suffered like we did in Virginia. Gettysburg lasted 4 horrific days. We had 4 years of misery. So when B.J. Hunt, who owned B.J. Hunt & Sons Funeral Home, approached me last year and asked if I'd allow Company G of the 8th Virginia, his reenactment unit, to stage the 1861 Battle of Ball's Bluff on my land, how could I say no? Especially when B.J. said the local battle wasn't often reenacted, meaning we'd not only draw spectators and reenactors from all over the country, but the vineyard would also get a healthy shot of national publicity. I am not martial in my interests, nor do I hunt and shoot, unlike my father, who was an expert marksman, but I do honor my forebears and our history. The real Ball's Bluff, now preserved as a national battlefield and a park, is a few miles down the old Carolina Road at the edge of the Potomac River and is the site of the 3rd smallest military cemetery in the United States. B.J. and his reenactors did not want to fight on hallowed ground, but they did want to stage their event as close to the battlefield as possible, preferably someplace near water. On October 21, 1861, Union soldiers had taken a few small boats across the Potomac from Maryland to Virginia, expecting to find a deserted Confederate camp near the town of Leesburg. What happened instead was a day-long series of skirmishes that ended with the panicked retreat of Federals down the cliffs of Ball's Bluff into the fast-moving Potomac. The sight of dozens of bloated bodies in blue floating downriver to Washington as far away as Mount Vernon so horrified President Lincoln and his Congress that a commission was established to oversee the conduct of the war from then on, forcing Union commanders to answer to a bunch of non-military lawmakers. Goose Creek, one of the Potomac's tributaries, runs through the middle of my farm. Though it meanders mostly through woods, the creek also skirts a large field beyond the vines that B.J. said would be an ideal place to hold the reenactment, now scheduled to take place in less than 2 weeks. I was a few dozen yards from the field when the gator, anemic-sounding ever since I'd left the cemetery, stalled and died. I turned the key in the ignition and pumped the gas, hearing nothing but dead-sounding clicks. I was about to climb down for a closer look at the engine, though, to be honest, I wouldn't know what I was looking for if it hit me in the face, when the ominous sound of wind rushing through the treetops made me look up. The birds suddenly had gone silent. We were in for a storm. A fast-moving one, too. The weather forecast hadn't said anything about a tornado, but there was no mistaking the ropey-looking gray funnel that had materialized out of nowhere on the horizon, spewing debris like dirty smoke. The dust cloud swelling at its base was shaped like an old-fashioned oil lamp, and the twister rising in the middle had the furious torque and spin of an angry genie. As though its appearance was a cue for what came next, a lead-colored wall of clouds descended from the sky like a curtain slamming down on a stage. The wind picked up, twisting tree branches unnaturally, until all I could see were the undersides of leaves flashing like millions of silvered coins. I fished my cell phone out of my pocket and started to call Quinn Santori, my winemaker, until I remembered that he was 20 miles away at a meeting of the winemakers' roundtable in Delaplane. Instead, I hit the number for Chance Miller, our new field manager, and heard him say, "Hello, Lucie," before the display flashed, "Call lost, searching for service," and went blank. The storm must have knocked out reception from the tower. Across the field, lightning arced the sky like God was throwing down pitchforks. I tossed the phone, now a lightning magnet, in the gator's open glove compartment and started counting. 1 Mississippi. I got only to 4 when the crack of thunder came, sounding like it had split open the earth. A hard, slanting rain moved in, slapping my